Okay. I just turned it off, maybe. Is it on? Good. Okay, thank you.
And here we are, round 2, D14 AMA Hare Scramble Series, 35 plus C division. We are at the Fredneck Ranch in northern Michigan, kind of between Gaylord and Grayling. Inaugural event at this establishment. I think we just got the 10 seconds. We're going off every 30 seconds today. And my man jumps the fire pit. This thing was still smoldering from the night before. I'm not sure who that was, but aggressive move. And he nearly gets the whole shot. Never even slows him down. Nice job, man. So if there's one word that can best describe the Fredneck Ranch, I would say sand, followed by dust. Now, that's truly not a good representation of this place, but we just needed Mother Nature to help us out a little bit today, put some moisture in the ground. It's been pretty dry up in this area, as you can tell from all the dust, and man, 300 acres of off-camber, single track, moto track. This was a fun race. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty physically demanding just because all the off-camber and the sand, you know, you're always off balance trying to catch yourself. So the first few minutes of this video, we went right from the start right into some tight off-camber single track here. So it was, by the time we go in row 13, there's a lot of bottlenecks that have established here, so kind of a little bit of a train here for the first 5 minutes of the ride before it starts to kind of work itself out and everybody's just kind of biting their time here. So we had 26 riders in the 35 plus C class today, and I think I was about 6th into the turn 1, and that's where I finished, was 6th of 26 today. So real solid ride for me. I was real happy with the results. It's my best Hare Scramble finish ever. So very pleased with that. Now internally right here, I'm starting to get frustrated. I just want to ride and get around guys, and I wasn't gonna force anything. Trying to learn from some of the mistakes I had made at the previous race. A little bit early on, I was a little bit overly aggressive and it ended up getting me into trouble and lost a lot of energy early on at the previous Hare Scrambles. This is round 2. We were at Valley Trail Riders, their first round. So trying to just kind of bite my time, conserve energy here on this first lap, and see the course once, and then let things work out once the course opens up and people start spreading out a little bit here. But it's always a little frustrating when you get caught on the train line, just sitting there waiting. Remember what I said about biding my time? That didn't last very long. I saw that window there, the rider in front of me made it, and he drug that log there, and I ended up hitting it and popping up over it. I don't know if I gained or lost any positions here, but I lost energy. I know that. This hill was real sandy, as you can tell, and it's probably steeper than what the video appears, but again, get a little frustrated here. Then I stall it out, get back underway. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how well the GoPro video turned out as far as being able to see, because there were times out here you're going blind for a second or two at a time, almost just not being able to see because of all the dust. But so I was thinking the GoPro video would probably be a complete loss and all the crap would be all over the lens, but it turned out to be not half bad. So this little section that we're coming out to now was the 50 auto course for the AM session. So I had two daughters riding in this division, so they handled the sand well, but they had watered this section down. So this is, out of everything, had a lot more moisture in it than the rest of the track. But my daughter Alexis took second in her division today, and she was third overall out of, I think they had 15 again today, maybe 16. And then my other daughter in the 4 to 6 year old division took fourth place and had a real good ride on her little Honda CR50. But challenging course for her, but you know, proud of her the way she persevered and made it through the sand, and she had a really good day. So both of them had a lot of fun. Get blasted by sand right there. So I talked about Alexis and Reagan. Braden also rode in the second morning session on the Super Minis, and he ended up taking third in his class, third overall in the session. So good ride. He looked really fast out there, getting to be more and more confident. So he was just needs find a little bit more speed to compete with top 2 guys there in his class. They're pretty darn quick, but he's getting there. So he's gonna keep working. They actually they didn't ride this course. Theirs was actually a much shorter loop, so they only rode a mile loop. A lot of this off-camber stuff and some of the real thick sand on the moto course that you're going to see coming up, they cut out of that. I'm not sure, some of those smaller bikes on those 65s and whatnot with those small tires, I don't think they would have fared well on the sand. Guys are looking for a cool place to ride up in northern Michigan, check this place out though. It's I believe it's open to the public. I don't know what their riding schedule is like for sure, but I know they've got a Facebook page, the Fredneck Ranch, so I encourage you to go check it out, like their page. They have a lot of posts out there as far as what they have to offer, and the owner is really great. Some of the most hospitable people I've ever met. So real nice family, and encourage you to go check this place out and do some riding. So the entire track here today, with exception of the moto, was all virgin trail. It had never been ridden with the exception of breaking the track in, so it became more established. But overall, I mean, it was great, and the trail was really well marked, even with all the dust and low visibility. No issues at all following the trail. So kudos to everybody that helped put this on. Everybody it's a lot of work putting a trail in like this, and 6 Mile Virgin Trail, that's a lot of work, so thank you guys. Had to be careful in this section here. There was a lot of roots, a lot of logs. Looks like this was logged out a year or two ago, and all the things are starting to grow back up, but a lot of residual little logs and stumps here and there, and roots just kind of hanging out, so you had to be on edge. And really, that's the one thing I noticed about this. There was really no place to relax. You know, there was always, because of the sand and all the roots and stumps and off camber, you're always a little bit off balance or trying to catch yourself. So man, it took a lot of energy. My 5th and final lap, I was hurting, man. Especially that second half, like through this section of that last lap, man, I was hurting, but made it through. So I had a watch on my bike, and I knew I was over 2 hours, and I didn't know where the leader Talon was in comparison to me, and he passed me about in this section when I was on my 5th lap, and very, very welcome to see him go around, because when he did, I knew that I didn't have much left, and this was going to be my last lap. I was hoping I wasn't going to beat him back to the line and have to do a 6th lap, because like I said, I was hurting, and I was not looking forward to doing a 6th lap out here, but thankfully he snuck around me and whizzed on by, and at that point I knew I didn't have more than probably a mile left, so the loop here is about 6 miles. We started kind of midway through this, the first lap. We kind of started up on top of a hill, and scoring was about midway through this first lap, I believe. So I think we're going to hit scoring maybe at the 3 or 4 mile mark, I'm guessing. So it's coming up here relatively quickly, I believe. are going through scoring on the first lap, and like I said, it's probably 4 miles in, coming out to the moto track here, which you're gonna see all the dust and sand flying out here. Can't really tell from this, but this is a big, long, uphill sand section here. Down I go. So I'm not a great sand rider by any means, and it's probably one of my biggest Achilles heels. But you know, I'm getting better. The more I do it, I'm getting better. But it got me there. And I think on the last lap, I don't know if the last lap, maybe lap 4. I think right here I went down too, and it was so thick trying to get restarted right there. Barely make it up that next little climb there over the little double. It was like riding at the dunes. Just a big sandbox. Overall, the trails was a lot of second gear, some first gear, but they flowed really well. And they were open enough, and the tight sections were saplings where you could just take them down with your bark busters and whatnot. But had some really nice flow to it. So it was the first 3.5 to 4 laps were really enjoyable for me before it became a fight of survival for me just to continue, just because of fatigue. But had a good time riding here. by my part there, kind of going to the outside. I thought I was going to sneak around those guys that were kind of hung up there, and it cost me a spot there. Never know. Getting close here to completing the one loop video here, but we're kind of working our way back towards the climb or the hill that we had started the race on. So probably less than a half mile to that point. Funny, my kids are out power washing their bikes right now as I'm recording this video the morning after. I mean, they're washing off everything. They're spraying down the hauler, their bikes, their stands, the truck. Everything was completely dust covered, you know, but I'm watching them out the window as I record this video right now, out there cleaning up after everything. So it's kind of their rite of passage. So I put everything together, get everything loaded up and ready to go, and then they clean up afterwards. So it works out okay. next week we are at Muskegon Motorcycle Club. They hosted a Hare Scramble that I rode 2 years ago. Very awesome terrain there as well. They've got a lot to offer, a lot of elevation. Good mix of terrain, really. They've got some open stuff there, so encourage everybody to come and check that race out. It'll be a lot of fun, so hope I get to see everybody there. Alright, so as we come out of the woods up here, I can kind of see the horizon of the field. This will be the field that we actually started the race in. So this concludes one loop around on the 6-mile Hare Scramble course at the Fredneck Ranch. So thanks for watching the video, and like I said, I hope I get to see you guys next week over at Muskegon. Thanks for watching.